Alrighty, Ifer, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Before we really begin today's exercise and walking through the Dharma blueprint, I would love just to really take a moment to recognize the beginning of this sacred time that we're spending together. So let's just tune in with some cleansing deep breaths. And so go ahead and just take a big deep inhale in. Go ahead and close your eyes and take the biggest breath that you've taken all day, and then just let it all out when you're ready. And when you think you've let it all out, just let a little bit more. And go ahead and just do that 2 or 3 more times. A big deep breath in and a full exhale out. And one more. And then just go ahead and keep your eyes closed and settle in to your seat. Start to notice how your body feels in this moment. And you can just return to a nice natural rhythm of breath. And as you do that, I just want you to visualize a bright white light, or maybe a more warm incandescent flame in your belly, in your sacral chakra. And just start to feel the warmth of that light radiating through the rest of your body. And just take that warm energy and scan your body from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. And just go ahead and relax every muscle. Your jaw, your shoulders, your arms, and your fingertips, your chest, your belly, your legs, your feet, your toes. And if there are any thoughts that are coming through, just let them pass and return to your breath. Let that be your anchor. And go ahead and call forth your spirit, your guides, your highest self. Channel that divine wisdom and let it come through you as you complete the following sentences. I am here to create. I am here to create. I am here to share. I am here to share. My purpose is. My purpose is. And now go ahead and start to come back into your body, into this room. Bring your hand to your heart, maybe the other hand to your belly. And just take one more big, deep, full breath in and let it all go. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Alrighty. How did that feel? Anything come up for you that you would love to share and bring forth for our session?
Yeah, I just when you were like repeating the sentences, and I got really emotional, oh, like, I am here to create, and I am here to um share share the wisdom, the message that is supposed to come through me in this lifetime. And yeah, like every time I get into that vibration, I get like really emotional. I'm like, yes, it's just like feeling of like home, like homecoming. Like, yes, I felt that again during this meditation.
Hmm. Well, I'm happy that you felt anything at all because I'm very new to this, and I know that you have actually been on your spiritual journey, and you're awakening for nearly a decade. And so you just have this that radiates from you and this natural way of making me feel at ease.
Mm.
And I know that you have that for others too. And so I'm curious as to what it was. Let's dive a little deeper into that message that you want to share that comes through you so naturally.
Yeah, yeah. So the message is just like, I know it sounds like kind of basic or cliche, but just that we are love, and we come from love, and we are going to return love, and you know like live a life that is that I remember that, and also remind others that they are love. Like deep down we're all the same, we all come from the same source, and just like share the messages. As I do this work, I really feel my intuition like more and more, and feel connected to the source and spirit, like most of the time, right? Like maybe not always, but most of the time. And it's been a blessing to get these downloads, and to get these like clear messages, and to do this work, and to be in this program. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I definitely had a lot of fear, of course, in the past, and fear is gonna always like maybe be there, right? As long as we are in this like human form. Yet again, fear is just like, it's there, but it's about like having the courage um, to be our true selves, and to make our dreams come true. And yeah.
Well, you have overcome a lot of challenges throughout, your lifetime and your experiences. And I know you just mentioned that fear has been one of them. So can you talk a little bit about how you have overcome that fear of being your true self, because I know that uh, you know, the obstacles that we face are really just our learning experiences, and that is how we're meant to show up and serve humanity. And I know that you have a gift for really seeing silver linings and turning pain into power. So can you talk a little bit more about how you've really overcome some of that fear and some of those challenges that you faced?
Yeah, there are a lot of them, but I guess like the biggest ones were, that in my lifetime. And yeah, like when you are going through and when you are in the middle of these challenges, of course it is difficult. Like you feel like, oh my God, I'm stuck here. I'm not going to be able to get out of that. But when we shift our perspective to like, okay, what is the assignment here? Because nothing is a coincidence, right? Like we go through challenges in this lifetime to learn specific lessons. And when I had that awakening, I'm like, even like, right now, like the challenging situations that looks challenging, I'm like, okay, what is the lesson here? What am I learning here? Because I know that that is going to turn into a message, right? Like, or experience that I go through. So I mean, it's just like, just I had a fear of like, like being rejected or like being alone or not being able to share my gifts, and fear of speaking my truth, and or maybe fear of like, not finding love. And I kind of went through that, like relationship challenges. And also, like being an immigrant in here, coming from Turkey, and just like building a life for me here. So there were a lot of fears like, oh my God, am I going to be able to make this? Am I going to be able to like make a living here? And when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like I feel so blessed and fortunate to really like do like everything that I wanted to do. And I know that I was not alone. Like I was always guided, I was always connected. And even though like those challenges were just like lessons and for me to grow. And yeah, like definitely definitely like learned a lot. And just like um even just like learning that turning pain into a gift, right? Like that is actually a gift, because maybe that's going to serve other people, right? Like we're, now that we're on this path, all these lessons, all these fears that we went through, it was just like here to teach us something so we can pass it on and just make an impact and help others too.
Mm. Well, I know that you're already making an impact in your community just by being yourself and living your truth. But as you really like think about your dharma and your purpose, which of those obstacles is something that maybe you'd really like to help others through? Specifically, if maybe you're thinking about your coaching practice, what that looks like in the future, which of those obstacles maybe really stands out to you that you feel like you would love to help people with and to solve in their own lives?
Yeah, I would say definitely like relationships. Like mostly my spiritual awakening kind of started with a heartbreak and like lots of pain and like losing a lover. And that is when I really like, look deeper into myself. I'm like, what is happening? Why does this happen? Because at the time I'm like, oh, this is happening to me, this is horrible, I can't believe I'm in this. And or like it was really, not cool. But that specific um you know um breakup or that pain taught me so much. I was able to look within, and like doing this work, I realized that I am creating this reality. Like I am that powerful to actually create my reality, like consciously or unconsciously. I was creating very unconsciously, and now I'm like, okay, like I've learned to um, love myself, like learn to love myself, and just waking up to that love that I already have within me, and that, you know, looking love like in the wrong places, like from, you know, from another human or outside of me. So the spirit was like, okay, like this is your lesson, you know, you have everything in you, like, and you are not alone, because I had a fear of like being alone. Oh my god, like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not choosing, or like I you know, I'm not wanted, all these fears. And then just like doing the spiritual work, I like, I have everything I need. You know, like that is the message that I feel so strongly about, like sharing that we create our own reality, our thoughts turn into things, and we have so much power to create, and everything is inside of us. Like we're already whole and full, and yeah, like just you know, that just sharing that message is is what I want. Is just reminding people that they are love. Like, you know, we're looking for love, but we are like just being that love. And of course, not just like learning and speaking, because there was a lot of that, you know, at the time. And I think like now I'm like in this phase of like embodying it and being it, like just everything I do, you know, like my thoughts, words, and actions, just like radiating that and embodying that and being that. So so yes.
Well, just the words that you use, like, you know, you have this gift to share, that you, this desire to share and this desire to create, those just really remind me of your visionary and your
Mhm.
artist archetypes. And I know that those were the two that really resonated with you when you took the Dharma archetype quiz. And, you know, you are sharing your voice and you're sharing your experiences and you're creating the life around you. And so, you know, as you know, really feel into those archetypes and you think about these challenges, these obstacles that you've overcome, um, let's talk a little bit about what's really exciting to you right now. What would you love to do next? Like, what are you just feeling really passionate about? What lights you up? What kind of like turns you on?
Yeah. Yeah, like just really embodying, like through this course, I, you know, like I knew that like embodying being in our body was important, but I think like this course really helped me, and I just get a lot of confirmation from, you know, the teachers, the coaches, that embodying and being it, like instead of like thinking about it and just like trying to solve everything through our minds, and just like being excited in our body. And just like what excites me is just like really finishing this course and just like sharing that message, and just putting the everything that we learned into, you know, like my way of like, you know, turning this to this like my practice, right? And sharing the message, um like through my experiences, through my voice, and just I'm really excited to, you know, like to finish the certification for this event, to see you. And then I really trust that it is going to unfold, yet I also am excited to again like bring this visionary archetype, and just like bringing it to the chakras, and then just like kind of like really going and like just like birthing the ideas. And just like also I'm really excited about like just, you know, merging my being and doing. You know, as you know, right now I have a full-time job that I'm kind of like in a transition, and yeah, like I'm excited to make this transition, you know, like make this transition and just like be a full-time coach. And that's just like, you know, just merge this like two parts of me, like professional, personal. Like I want to be just like this one person all the time, and I'm really excited to create that reality for myself, because that's been a calling for me for years. And I'm really excited. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and that taking that action and just like that sacred doing. Before I was just like taking action was like hard for me, but now I'm like that passion like that I have in my heart is so strong that anything else, like when I know that because it's how it's been my whole life. Like I wanted to go to the United States. I wanted to make a living. I wanted to, do this. So like now I want to bring that pizza energy a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this into work, and this is what I want. And that really excites me. Yeah, to see where this journey is gonna take me.
Well, so from that like energy of like feeling this power to create anything, um, what mediums really naturally flow through you so that you can really start to see like what actions just you can take that feel very effortless and very easy and very aligned with your archetypes and your dharma, your purpose. What mediums would you love to use to share as you're creating this future?
Yeah, yeah. So again, like working a ton, like doing a lot of work around like my throat chakra, speaking my throat. So or like being very like spiritual and talking about these things, right? That fear. So I think like speaking, like when I tune in, I feel like I get these downloads, and I want to be able to like freely talk to people. So I love like one-on-one coaching. I love one-on-one, just like that sacred, being in that sacred space with that one person. And definitely like speaking, and I love writing too. So yeah, definitely like writing, speaking, and just like creating. I kind of like creating like inspirational like videos, or like like reels, and I had a fear of that, but I at this point I'm like, that's something that I want to use, right? Like, because I know the importance of our voice, and like our messages. So those are the mediums that I could that I can use this message to come through.
Well, we only have about a minute left on our call before we get kicked off. So, what I'm going to do is have you hop back on, and then I'll just piece these videos together. We'll just have a couple of more questions to dive a little deeper into. So, hop back
Good.
on, and I'll see you in just a
Okay.
minute.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so we left off talking about the mediums that just naturally flow through you, and I know that you really just have this natural gift in your voice, in your speaking, and channeling, and you also mentioned writing, and so I'm just a little bit curious if we could dive a little bit deeper into both of those. And like what it is specifically that you kind of see yourself doing with those gifts, with those mediums.
Yeah, like like this one-on-one coaching, when I like tune in, just like sharing the messages come through me in a safe place, I guess, like that is definitely something that I want to, because like when I talk to friends, like when I'm in that like state, like I always get like people saying like, oh my god, you've helped me so much, wow, this is a great point of view, like I knew about this but I never heard it this way. So like I'm getting like feedback from people really from the universe, that like this is kind of like what's going on, this is your gifts. And it is like like it is kind of interesting to see that like something that I had so much fear around becoming my gift. I'm like, wow, that is really interesting, because I could never ever thought of like doing that, especially like English is just not my first language, right? Like that is so interesting to me, because like this is not even my first language, and it doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter, because energy, it's just like, or heart, it's just the same language, we all speak the same language. And as we learn, like 93% of communication is nonverbal. So I'm like, okay, like really like leaning into that, and just like accepting, like, you know what, let's just let go of those fears and like limiting beliefs that because I in the past like I definitely feel like that stopped me, and this time I'm like, I'm not gonna let that stop me. And writing,
Oh.
like I journal, like I write my dreams every morning. I have a journal that I, like write my day, or like, my meditation. I have a piece of paper, like I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna write what is coming through me. And I just love like being connecting with source all the time. I just love that. And that's what I want to do. I want to be in that state all the time. I want this to be my words, my work. Because I'm, I have a different job, and just like spending so much time like talking to customers about cars. I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, I don't want to talk about cars anymore. Like, I want to talk about like, like consciousness, spirituality, like, like the what we're going through. Like, those are the conversations that I want to have more of.
So, I mean, I know that like you're just it's so very natural for you now to just feel that connection to source, and like you said, you feel it most of the time. Um, let's explore a little bit of like the times that you don't feel it. Is it when you are at work in your full-time job now? Is it when you have those stressful situations? I know when we began our session today, you mentioned that it was a really busy week, and I could just kind of see that difference in you,
Yeah.
and in your energy now talking about the things that you love compared to that. So yeah, do you want to explore
Yes.
that a little bit more?
Yes. Well, that's a great question. Really, thank you for asking that, because exactly, right? Like, because I'm this person when I'm in my element, when I'm talking, I'm just like this super like energetic, like bubbly, and I'm talking about it. I'm in my truth, and I love it. And then I come to work, I'm like talking to like customers, and I've been doing this for a long time, and just like can be very stressful, although I have a lot of tools that I don't let my outer world to affect my inner world that much. Yet I'm just coming into the realization that it's not aligned. So if it's not aligned, I'm not my full self, and if I'm not my authentic self, I'm not going to be able to serve. Like, I think like maybe it's a disservice for my work at this point to like just yes, I'm successful, I do a good job, but my heart is not in there. And I want to be a person that like I want to put my heart into my actions, everything I do. So yeah, like this week I was feeling that, because I was like, I felt the burnout. I'm like, this is not what I want to talk about. Like, I have these big dreams and a life, that I want to create, and this is not aligned. And also like again, like feeling gratitude for my work, like what it brought me this far, and just like making peace with that, and still being in appreciation for everything that it taught me. But also like feeling really clearly that like, okay, this is not aligned anymore, and I want to just bring this energy to like what I want to do, like my everyday life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, so I know, like you just mentioned, you're very grateful for your job and for the success and the independence that it's created in your life up until this point. Um, what else is there anything else that's holding you back from maybe letting go of that job and really fully stepping into this potential that you see for yourself?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this before in our like other sessions, that like my company is about to go public, and I've been with this company for 7 years. I've invested so much time and energy, and again, like in a bigger picture, like I like the people I work with. I love the company's mission, and like it wasn't like always like, oh my god, I don't like my job. Like it was like it taught me a lot, and I been really like successful. It was great to see, and like this company is like going public, like hopefully end of this year. So this is happening, and that was a dream of mine. Like that was in a spiritual level also, because I would get my meditations that like stay in this job, like like just it is going to um my time and energy one day it's gonna like give me this like maybe abundance or like the money. So yeah, that is I don't want to say like that's holding me back anymore, but like in a way, like I want to also make that dream come true for me. Like I want that experience. And like again, like doing a lot of spiritual work, my work also shifted a lot. And I feel like, yeah, it's just coming to an end when that dream is going to happen, and then on to the next dream. So yeah, it's just like surrendering to my experience like right now, and also like start doing the things that I love to do more, like do more of, instead of like, okay, I don't have time, I'm so busy and all of that. And like, yes, it is there, maybe it will, be there, but also like, okay, like what can I do to bring more joy and excitement, and how can I do more of the things that I would love to do. So that's kind of like what I'm focusing right now, while transitioning. And I really do trust that it is all like happening in divine timing.
Yes. Well, I think when we end this session, I would love to just send you off with like a little fun assignment and maybe just really look forward um, a year or two, maybe even three ahead, and really just visualize in as much detail as possible and write down the best possible outcome for all of that work that you're putting in now and all of those experiences. And in trusting that everything that is going on right now is serving you and it's teaching you something. And I really want you to sit with that for a while and really like have some fun with it. So rather than having you think through it right now, I would love for you just to take some time for yourself to really think about that vision and just think of like best possible outcome, a few years down the road and what that really looks like based on where you are right now, present day. And just as we're talking about the Dharma blueprint and like on this path of like the divine wisdom that comes through you and just those mediums that flow through you and what's so exciting for you and even those obstacles that you've overcome, let's just wrap up like on a really high note, and I want you to like really tap into your superpowers. What is it that you're really really good at and that people compliment you on all the time?
Well, my intuition, I would say, and my connection to spirit. And because I hear that a lot, like, like, oh, you're so wise, like the wisdom that I um kind of like surpassed for many years. And now like now I feel like, well, I am gifted. Like that is amazing, like I get these like downloads and in my meditations, and uh that I have gifts to share. But I would say definitely my intuition and my connection to spirit is my superpower. Yeah.
I've seen that for sure. Yes. So 100%. There's so much truth to that. And just like some other things that I would love to share with you that I see in you is just like your ability to really connect with people and like humanity and having that connection and just seeing the beauty and the joy in life and like really just being so grateful for being alive. And like I just like I'm really excited to meet you in person and to like dance with you. And like I know that like movement and just music and like embodiment is just something that like you really love as well. And I think that's a part of how your intuition comes through. And so um just thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share or work through that's kind of maybe come up through this conversation?
Well, this has been a beautiful session. Thank you. Just like just talking about this, Getting a confirmation how sacred this work is, and that's why I was just drawn into this, because I see the value, and you've been amazing and helping me so much, just to like listening and asking these perfect questions. And I couldn't ask for a better accountability buddy, but like more than that, I feel like you're a soul sister now. And yeah, thank you so much for your like positivity and just like your energy. Yeah, I feel very connected to you, and I also am really, really looking forward to meeting you in person.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I couldn't agree more. We are absolutely soul sisters, and no coincidence that we ended up coming together. And it's really hard to believe that it's been 6 months of this journey, but it's just been really fun having these deep and meaningful conversations with you. And I think the best part is that even when we're just having more like playful, fun conversations that aren't like our coaching sessions, I see that you naturally are very like drawn to spirituality and just like life. And so it's just been really easy and really just like I've learned so much. So thank you. And yeah, I'm so excited to see what's next for you. And yeah, we'll be seeing each other soon.